Next, say hello to Poison Ivy, also known as Saren. Toxicity is Saren's strength. Her serpentine powers deal heavy damage. For Saren, venom is a virtue. Spores. Inflict the, inflict the target with a pox of corrosive spores. Spread spores to nearby enemies by destroying them or killing their host. The longer the spore spreads, its damage will increase. Molt. Shedding her skin like a snake, Saren leaves a decoy behind to draw fire from enemies. Toxic Lash. While active, attacks deal additional toxic damage. This effect is double for melee strikes. Instantly burst spores when attacking inflicting enemies. And finally, Miasma. Release a poisonous miasma that deals viral damage to enemies in range. Foes affected by spores are more susceptible to the mist. Fun fact, this girl and Frost are a confirmed married couple. I only recently found that out. I'm sure it's been a thing for a while now, but that has been confirmed. Next is my one of my main battle buddies. This one is Stynex. He holds a special place in my heart. He takes inspiration from I want to say ancient Greece, or Rome. He is a literal hoplite. This one is a 1 Legion Warframe. Stynex never wonders how many enemies he will face, only where he can find them. The hoplite deals high damage. Enemies tremble before his spear and shield. So he's basically your Spartan warrior. Like I said, he's got me out of a jam many times before. When I have to deal with a huge crowd. Axios Javelin. Throw an Axios Javelin. When the javelin impales an enemy against the wall, surrounding enemies are pulled into the area and suffer a burst of damage. Tharos Strike. Summon Tharos, the shield of Stynex. Swing Tharos to repel enemies and reduce their shields and armor. Stynex regenerates health for every enemy struck. So that's like a shield bash. Rally Point. Draw enemy attention to Stynex. His resolve uplifts him and nearby allies, regenerating the squad's energy over time. Stynex and his allies also regenerate shields for every kill assist they contribute. And final stand. Exude might and valor. Rise into the air and throw a barrage of Axios javelins. The javelins deal damage to nearby enemies wherever they land. Direct hits to enemies deal greater damage. Oh Jesus! So basically, Stynex goes full Leonidas, like full King Leonidas at this point, and will literally dismantle a whole bunch of enemies. Once it gets to final stand, I tend to pop rally point right before I do final stand to increase the damage. I want to get some more mods that are suited to him though, but I'm not sure which augments I would need to fully max him out in terms of power. And here's another favorite of mine, Temple. Blazing with glamour and armed with an Infesta guitar, Lizzie. Temple's power core is like the flames of revolution. Again, this is another one that was inspired by, I want to say, Billy Morrison. He worked with Ozzy. And one of the hits that those two made, that is still my favorite to this day, Gods of Rock and Roll. It reminds me. It reminds me of the day of that time when they. Well, this was before Isaac passed, actually. So I look back at it with a fond memory. Temple's abilities: Pyrotechnics. Blast target enemies with pillars of heat damage. Backbeat timing. Ignite even more pillars. Increases the duration and heat damage of Ripper's Wail when it deals damage. Overdrive. Drive loudspeakers into epic distortion to create a damaging wave of heat damage, while also increasing vulnerability to critical chance. For backbeat timing, doubles critical chance. Increases the duration and heat damage of Ripper's Wail when it deals damage. So he faced this guy. This is another one. You're just basically cranking up the fire to where it's almost overkill, really. Ripper's Wail. Rip on the guitar to make Temple briefly invulnerable while healing them. Allies' weapons in affinity range are lit up with extra heat damage each time an ability is used on a backbeat and successfully hits enemies. Backbeat timing. Invulnerability lasts longer. And finally, Exalted Solo. Once a charge has been built up on the backbeat metronome, set Lizzie aflame and torch enemies with heat. While aimed, Lizzie blasts enemies with thunderous elemental sound waves. Use ability controls to change the elemental damage type. So basically, once that solo or that riff fires, everything's getting destroyed. Oh boy! And I thought he was the only destructive one. No, I have one more that's even worse. Last but not least, we cannot forget my personal favorite, Uriel. To fight as the heretic of Zata is to have demons at your back. Uriel incinerates foes with searing brimstone and commands 3 fiendish summons to do his devil's work. Infernalis manifests an aura of flame, an aura of flame, inflicting heat damage and status effect on nearby enemies. Tap dodge while airborne to take flight as a flaming meteor of destruction. What the? He can fly? I didn't know he could fly. I've never seen that, huh? Okay then, Remedium. Uriel heals himself and his demons. If his demons are dead, they are resurrected. Demonium. Uriel rips out the souls of his demons, draining their health and sends them in search of new victims. Oh Jesus. Souls explode on contact with an enemy, rendering it vulnerable to damage. Jesus Christ. I'm getting Sin Devil Trigger vibes with Uriel. And yes, that's a direct reference to Dante, by the way. Now I've used him for destruction too. He has that spear or that lance or whatever that is. He carries it with him though. And my most favorite of all of his abilities, Brimstone. Uriel and his demons create a growing ring of flaming brimstone. Charge the ability by utilizing demon abilities. Damage inflicted increases with each consecutive hit. Uriel is the type of guy that I would bring to like a survival, just because he can literally bring the house down if he wanted to. It's between him and Temple. So what I think for tonight though, we are gonna kick this off. Let's kick this off with Uriel. All right. Let's kick this off. Let's kick this off at Get Revenant. Welcome back. Yes? You didn't miss much. You really didn't. I literally just started. I just did like a short summary of mine. Huh? Yeah, I'm doing Warframe now. What? Yes. Yes. For those of you that may not be aware, I do have background in health health, so I can give you minor suggestions for health and recovery, but I am by no means a doctor. Holy crap, it's Oberon. I haven't seen Oberon in ages. You know, I feel like I'm gonna go a little crazy, so before I run off and do that.
Must be fought on many fronts. In Duviri we engage his forces, but through the Undercroft we challenge his very essence. This leaden day is too much to bear alone. Do not go solitary if you can help it, my friend.
Yeah, I definitely won't. Ugh. I wanna play Joe Jet's music so bad with this character, because this is but it's copyright. I can't do it. I got the perfect song for this too. Oh shoot, I think the power's trying to fluctuate.
The longer you can keep this Undercroft manifestation active, the greater the gains for the other side.